Do you ever feel a little more cautious lately? Maybe worried about a stumble or a fall? Have you noticed that things that felt easy just a few years ago, like opening a stubborn jar or lifting a bag of groceries, seem to require just a little more effort now? We all know that as we get older, our bodies change. It's a natural part of life. But what if I told you that there's one very common habit, something many of us might do without even thinking, that could be weakening your bones much faster than just the passing years? It's a painful reality for many people that brittle bones, or osteoporosis, can lead to fractures from surprisingly small incidents, a trip on the rug, a misstep off a curb. These aren't just inconvenient. They can severely impact your independence and quality of life. It doesn't have to be this way. There's a secret. Really, it's more of an overlooked truth about how our daily choices affect our bone strength, especially as we age. In this video, we're going to uncover this specific habit and explore simple, achievable ways you can counteract its effects and help keep your bones stronger for longer. We'll look at how this habit works against you and some practical steps you can start taking right now to make a real difference. You might be surprised at how powerful these small changes can be. Make sure you watch all the way to the end, because there's something we'll discuss that could truly change how you think about protecting your bone health. So, let's talk about this common habit, this silent thief that can steal your bone strength. It's something many of us find ourselves doing more of as we get older, often without even realizing the impact it's having. The habit I'm talking about is simply not moving enough. It sounds almost too simple, doesn't it? We might think, well, I'm retired, or I've slowed down a bit, and that's just life. But the truth is, our bones are living tissue. They respond to stress and load. When you walk, when you stand, when you climb stairs, or even just shift your weight, you're putting gentle stress on your bones. This stress signals to the bone cells that they need to stay strong and dense. Think of it like a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weaker. The same principle applies to your bones. When you spend extended periods sitting, whether it's watching television, reading, or working at a desk, your bones aren't experiencing the necessary stimulus to maintain their density. Over time, this lack of stress leads to bone loss, making them more porous and fragile. This isn't just about vigorous exercise. It's about overall daily movement. Think about the difference between someone who walks to the shop, does some gardening, or even just gets up to move around frequently throughout the day, versus someone who spends most of their day seated. The person who is more active, even moderately, is constantly giving their bones those little signals they need to stay healthy. It's easy to fall into this habit, isn't it? Maybe you have some aches and pains that make moving less appealing. Maybe you live somewhere where it's not as easy or safe to walk around. Perhaps you just haven't made movement a priority. Life gets busy, or maybe it gets less busy in retirement, and routines change. We might rely more on cars or online shopping, reducing the need to get out and about. And the longer we spend not moving, the harder it can feel to start. It becomes a bit of a vicious cycle. You move less, your bones and muscles weaken, you feel less stable, which makes you even more hesitant to move. But breaking this cycle is absolutely possible, and it's one of the most powerful things you can do to protect your bones. Let's dive a little deeper into why this lack of movement has such a profound effect. It's related to something called Wolff's Law, which sounds technical but is a simple idea. Bone adapts to the loads it is placed under. When you apply force to a bone, it responds by building more tissue to become stronger and more resistant to breaking. This force doesn't have to be extreme. Weight-bearing activities, where your body is working against gravity, are particularly effective. This includes standing, walking, jogging, climbing stairs, and even dancing. Non-weight-bearing activities like swimming or cycling are great for your cardiovascular health and muscles, but they don't provide the same level of bone-building stimulus as activities where you're supporting your own weight. But here's the really important part. Even small amounts of weight-bearing activity can make a difference. You don't have to run a marathon. Simply incorporating more standing and walking into your day is a fantastic start. Could you stand while you talk on the phone? Could you walk a little further to the post box? Could you take the stairs instead of the lift for just a floor or two? These small choices add up over time. Think about your daily routine. Are there opportunities to swap sitting time for standing or gentle movement? Perhaps during commercial breaks while watching TV. You could stand up and march in place for a few minutes if you're reading. Could you set a timer to remind yourself to get up and walk around the house every hour? It's about making conscious decisions to interrupt long periods of sitting. Strength training, even very gentle forms, is also incredibly beneficial. When your muscles contract, they pull on the bones they are attached to. This pulling action is another type of stress that stimulates bone growth. You don't need heavy weights. Body weight exercises, like standing up from a chair repeatedly, doing calf raises while standing, or gentle arm exercises with light dumbbells or resistance bands, can be very effective. These exercises not only help your bones, but also build muscle strength, which improves your balance and coordination, further reducing your risk of falls. A simple routine could involve sitting and standing from a sturdy chair 10 times, doing some wall push-ups leaning against a wall and pushing yourself away, and some gentle leg lifts while holding onto a chair for support. Consistency is key. Aim for even just 10 to 15 minutes of this type of gentle movement and strength work a few times a week. It's not about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about giving your bones and muscles the stimulus they need to stay functional and strong. Many people find it helpful to incorporate movement into things they already do. If you enjoy meeting friends for coffee, could you suggest meeting for a walk in the park first? If you listen to podcasts or audiobooks, could you do so while going for a walk? Finding ways to make movement enjoyable makes it much easier to stick with. And remember, it's never too late to start. Even if you haven't been very active in the past, your bones are capable of responding to new stimulus. Starting gently and gradually, increasing the amount and intensity of your movement is the safest and most effective approach. Listen to your body and don't push yourself too hard, especially when you're starting out. If you have any underlying health conditions, it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor before starting a new exercise program. They can help you find activities that are safe and appropriate for you. Beyond just scheduled exercise, think about your daily life. Could you carry your groceries inside in 2 smaller trips instead of 1 heavy one? Could you spend more time on your feet doing hobbies like gardening or DIY? Every little bit counts. The cumulative effect of small, consistent movements throughout the day is incredibly powerful for bone health. It's about making movement a natural and regular part of your life, rather than an occasional event. The less we move, the more our bones are essentially telling themselves, okay, we don't need to be that strong anymore, and they begin to demineralize, losing that vital density that protects against fractures. This is why that habit of prolonged sitting is such a significant factor in bone weakening, often having a more detrimental effect than simply the chronological age itself. Your bones are relying on you to give them a reason to stay strong. By consciously choosing to move more throughout your day, you are providing them with that essential stimulus. Now, while increasing your daily movement and incorporating weight-bearing activities is perhaps the single most crucial step in counteracting the bone-weakening effects of inactivity, it's only part of the picture. Just as important as giving your bones the right signals through movement is giving them the right building blocks through your diet. You can exercise all you want, but if your body doesn't have the necessary nutrients, it can't effectively build and maintain strong bones. So, let's talk about what your bones are really hungry for. The 2 biggest players that most people think of are calcium and vitamin D. Calcium is the primary mineral that makes up your bone structure, giving it its strength and rigidity. Imagine your bones are like a building. Calcium is the concrete. Vitamin D, on the other hand, is like the construction worker who helps lay the concrete. It's essential for your body to absorb calcium from the food you eat. Without enough vitamin D, you could be consuming plenty of calcium, but your body simply won't be able to use it effectively for bone building. Getting enough calcium can often be achieved through diet. Dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt are well-known sources. But there are many others. Leafy green vegetables like kale, broccoli, and spinach contain calcium, although the body absorbs it a bit differently than from dairy. Fortified foods, like some plant-based milks, orange juice, and cereals also have added calcium. Fish with soft bones, like sardines and canned salmon, are excellent sources because you consume the bones. Nuts and seeds, particularly almonds and sesame seeds often found in tahini, also contribute. The goal is to get enough throughout the day, not just in one meal. For many older adults, aiming for around 1,200 milligrams of calcium per day is recommended. But it's always best to discuss your specific needs with your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can help you figure out if you're getting enough from your diet or if a supplement might be beneficial. But focusing on food first is usually the best approach. As foods provide a whole package of nutrients, vitamin D is a bit trickier to get solely from food. Our bodies can actually produce vitamin D when our skin is exposed to sunlight. However, as we age, our skin is less efficient at doing this. Also, factors like using sunscreen, which is important for preventing skin cancer, living in northern latitudes with less intense sunlight, or simply not spending much time outdoors can make it difficult to get enough from the sun. Dietary sources of vitamin D include fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and tuna, egg yolks, and fortified foods like milk, orange juice, and some cereals. Because it's hard to get enough vitamin D from diet and sun exposure alone, many older adults need a vitamin D supplement. Again, this is something to discuss with your doctor. They can even check your vitamin D levels with a simple blood test to see if you're deficient. Adequate vitamin D levels are crucial, not just for calcium absorption, but also for muscle function, which, as we mentioned, helps with balance and reduces fall risk. Another key factor in preventing fractures. But calcium and vitamin D aren't the only nutrients that matter for bone health. Magnesium, for example, plays a role in bone structure and also helps with vitamin D activation. You can find magnesium in foods like nuts, seeds, leafy greens, whole grains, and legumes. Vitamin K is another important one. It's involved in bone mineralization. Leafy green vegetables like kale, collard greens, and spinach are excellent sources of vitamin K. Many people who eat a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and whole grains will get adequate amounts of these other bone-supporting nutrients. The focus shouldn't just be on popping pills, but on nourishing your body with a variety of healthy foods. Now, while we're talking about diet, there are also some habits related to food and drink that can negatively impact bone health if done excessively. Things like excessive consumption of caffeine, found in coffee and some teas and sodas, or drinking too much alcohol have been linked to lower bone density. While a moderate amount of coffee or an occasional alcoholic drink is unlikely to cause significant harm, regularly consuming large quantities can interfere with calcium absorption and metabolism. Smoking is another major culprit. It significantly reduces bone density and increases fracture risk. Quitting smoking is one of the best things you can do for your overall health, including your bones. It's about being mindful of these habits and considering if they might be working against your efforts to keep your bones strong. It's not about being perfect or restricting yourself severely, but about making balanced choices most of the time. Fueling your body with nutrient-rich foods and being aware of things that can deplete those nutrients is a powerful combination when paired with regular movement. Together, these factors create a much stronger foundation for healthy bones than either one alone. Putting all of this together, you can see that keeping your bones strong as you age isn't some mysterious process. It's fundamentally about two key things: giving your bones the right signals through movement and providing them with the right building blocks through nutrition. The common habit that weakens bones faster than aging itself is that lack of regular physical activity, particularly weight-bearing movement. When we're sedentary for long periods, our bones aren't getting the message that they need to stay strong, and they gradually lose density. But the wonderful news is that this isn't a one-way street. You can absolutely influence your bone health, no matter your age or how active you've been in the past. It starts with making a conscious effort to move more throughout your day. It could be as simple as getting up every hour to walk around, choosing to take the stairs, or incorporating a short walk into your daily routine. Finding gentle weight-bearing activities you enjoy, like walking, dancing, or gardening, and doing them consistently is incredibly beneficial. And remember, strength training is also vital. Even with just your own body weight or light resistance, it not only strengthens your bones, but also improves your balance and muscle function, making you feel more stable and confident on your feet. Alongside movement, paying attention to your diet is paramount. Ensuring you're getting enough calcium and vitamin D is crucial, primarily through foods like dairy, leafy greens, fortified products, and fatty fish. Don't forget about other important nutrients like magnesium and vitamin K, found in a variety of healthy foods. If you're concerned you're not meeting your nutritional needs, especially for vitamin D, talk to your doctor about whether a supplement might be right for you. And be mindful of habits that can harm your bones, like smoking and excessive alcohol or caffeine consumption. Making small, positive changes in these areas can have a significant cumulative effect over time. Remember, you don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small, be consistent, and gradually build healthier habits. Maybe this week you focus on standing up and moving for 5 minutes every hour you're sitting. Next week, you might try adding a 15-minute walk to your day. The week after, you could explore incorporating some simple chair exercises. These small, manageable steps are much more likely to stick than trying to do too much at once. It's easy to feel like aging means a decline in health and ability, but that doesn't have to be the case. Certainly not at a rapid pace due to preventable habits. By understanding how crucial movement and nutrition are for bone strength, you empower yourself to take control. You're not just passively aging, you're actively participating in keeping your body strong and resilient. Every step you take, every healthy food choice you make, is an investment in your future independence and well-being. Don't underestimate the power you have to make a difference in your own health story. Feeling strong and stable allows you to continue doing the things you love. Whether that's playing with grandchildren, pursuing hobbies, traveling, or simply enjoying everyday activities without the constant worry of falls or fractures. It's about maintaining your quality of life and living as fully and vibrantly as possible. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health and happiness. We've covered the critical habit of inactivity and the importance of movement and nutrition. What are your biggest challenges when it comes to staying active or eating bone-healthy foods? Or perhaps you have a great tip you'd like to share. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We can learn so much from each other. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a thumbs up. It helps others find this information. And make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos designed to help you live your best life at every age. Thank you for watching. And keep moving. Keep nourishing your body. And keep living your best life.